Hello, you're watching the Global Goals Studio, where our topic right now is youth activism, and we're joined by three young activists. We have Amber Yang, she's the founder of SEER, Vanessa Nakate, the founder of Rise Up, and here in the studio with us is Alexandria Villaseñor, the founder of Earth Uprising. My first question to Alexandria is, how are young activists driving political change on the climate crisis?
Yes, so one thing that I've been very focused on recently is getting political action, especially here in the United States. I think it's very important that we have people in positions of power that actually believe in the science. And so I have been really pushing the Biden campaign. I previously worked with Jay Inslee on his Evergreen Economy Plan, and it was one of the most comprehensive climate plans we've ever seen. And so that was because youth kept pushing for this and pushing for this. And so Biden ended up adopting this plan. And so I think that it's very important for young people to get involved in political action, because this climate election is the climate election. Climate is the #1 voter issue for young people, actually. So it's very important for young people to make their voices heard and vote. And if you can't vote like me, I'm only 15 and I won't be able to vote for 3 more years, which is far too long in my opinion, then those who can't will just continue taking action.
Amber, I'd love to bring you in here. Young activists have really found their voice in social media, and they've managed to organize, of course, through social media. Is social media actually an effective tool for the kind of activism you want to see?
Yeah, I really do think social media, it's unprecedented in the reach that it's able to get. We've seen so many activist campaigns, so many political campaigns being drawn through social media. My fear is that social media is not being used for the right reasons. That is a subject for perhaps another day, but I really do think that is the way that people are getting their voices heard right now.
Vanessa, you're from East Africa. Can you talk about East Africa and Africa at large? Do you think that people there, young people especially, are becoming more engaged on the issue of climate change?
Well, of course, with the increasing voices that are rising up and demanding for action, we are having more young people inspired through the reach outs in communities. We are having young people in these communities, especially those in rural areas, being inspired to speak up and demand for action through the school reach outs, because from countries like mine, it is hard to hold very massive strikes. So through the school reach outs, the students are motivated and inspired to demand for action. So the more they understand that their house is on fire, the more they understand that their future is at stake, the more they desire to get involved in being part of the change and demanding for the action that we want.
Alexandria, if I can pick up what you were saying about the frustration maybe with older people like me. Do you feel that you can do enough as your generation to push the older generation to get this work done? Because clearly there's a limit to what you can do. As a younger person, as you said, you can't actually vote yet. How are you going to get your parents and even your grandparents' generation to actually make these changes?
Yes, I think that it's very important that our movement is intergenerational, because there is a lot that young people can learn from adults and those who have been in this movement for a while. But yet, adults also need to listen to young people, because we think outside of the box and we are very bold with our actions and what we do. And so there's a lot that we have that we can learn from each other. And so one thing that I always tell adults is that they have to step up and step behind our movement, because we can't do this alone. See, what I've found within this past year with the movement is sometimes adults will come in and they'll pat us on the head and say, "You're doing such a good job," but then they won't come out and support us. And so it's very important that you say those words, but you actually show up with the actions and you support us in what we're doing.
Thank you, Alexandria. Please hold that thought. We'll continue this conversation after a short break. This is the Global Goals Studio.